friends and the vegan. I have my gentle juice fasting today. That means I only drink lots of liquids. Main thing is that they don't have any fiber. That's the idea. Yeah. Getting the fiber of the food makes it, the digestion does not have to work anymore, because the fiber is mainly what the digestion keeps going. Yeah. Healthy diet, healthy vegan diet has a lot of fiber, a whole food plant-based diet. That means a diet rich in fiber. And that is what we cannot digest usually. So the body has to separate that. Not digested gets out again, and what's needed stays inside. That's digestion basically. Very complex process. We don't even understand fully, but the fiber is what is the main part of a healthy diet, one of the main parts of the healthy diet, and it is not even mainly the nutrients. The nutrients, we take it, the fiber, we leave it. So the story is not completely correct, because now we know, after decades of research now, that the fiber also has some part in the nutrient process, because the fibers make some very important nutrients come into the system, and very complicated things. So we always try to understand things the way we need it. The most, but the fiber story is basically very central for fasting, because you remove it, and then the digestion has a pause, and then the body begins to cleanse itself. It's the idea of fasting. It's not so much that you lose weight or so. For losing weight, one of the main issues in modern Western society. People have too much weight. That causes all kinds of diseases. It's very bad. Even a small amount of excess weight can be a problem, is a problem medically. It costs lifetime. They can even measure that. So losing weight is important for many people, and fasting is not the way to do that, because it's not the purpose. Because you can only lose weight basically, and in general, when you change your diet consistently. You keep that change. So it's a lifestyle question. Modern medicine is more and more lifestyle medicine that incorporates all kinds of what you do in your life, how you move, how you breathe, how you eat. Then the medication is one part of it. Health also is something general today. The health definition by the World Health Organization, most now accepted mostly, is. It was not so decades ago. They didn't accept it. They said that is too expensive. If you have the health understood as a social, physical and mental well-being. So before we said physical well-being, the body is sick, you are sick. And now when they say mental, the mind is not okay, then you are sick also. And now even socially you have to be well. Then you can also be sick socially. So all these three, the physical, the mental and the social, are part of the holistic health approach. It's very new that they accepted that worldwide, because it's so expensive. You have to take care of so many things. But the world is changing, and we have a more holistic view. We need it now, economically also. It's all connected. And so this is already changing. And I don't want to go too far into this now, because about the health, talking about health is complex, and you have to go everywhere. Health is one of the most complex things we have. Most of the money is researching is in health and food, and so in Europe, at least in America, the military is very important too. Big budget, but in Europe, still the health and food is the biggest budget. What they have, what they make money here in Europe is mostly that. The military is not that high. So it's in industrialized cultures, health and food is at the top, more than transportation and chemistry, and so it's really high, super high important. And yes, we learn more about it. Takes time, and to remove the fiber brings you to a time when the body begins to work in a different way. That's basically the story. First you reduce calories, so you don't have enough energy for what you usually do. Energy is measured grossly by calories. how much the body can burn energy. Sugar, that is mostly, or fat. Energy is burned, and that is the calories, the energy you take in. That's an important measurement if you want to feed the world population. You need these kinds of gross calculations. If you go to one single individual, then you really get to wonder, okay, the calorie is not so important, because, for example, if I eat a lot of nuts, I eat a lot of calories, but the body burns more because if I eat nuts. The nuts don't make you gain weight. They have so much fat, so you should gain more weight, but you don't, because the raw nuts at the same time reduce your weight. That's something. So if you go to an individual diet, the whole story changes, and you cannot rely on the calories alone, of course. It's just, a scientific way to approach it. The general view is very gross for many, many people together, but when you go to an individual, you also need ancient health science and arts like Ayurveda or so, Chinese medicine. These kind of things help understand chronic diseases more. But as I said, not going too far out in this. I learned a little bit Ayurveda. There's a wonderful Western medical schooled practitioner here in America. I'm in Germany, but I listen online. And she's an Indian, and she has also a teacher, Ayurveda teacher. They're all medical doctors and Ayurveda doctors, so both. And she worked in a medical professional in America for some time, and now she explores Ayurveda with these wonderful people in India. She's in India herself, and she cooks now and she explains us online how Ayurveda works as a holistic medicine, and also what food they have. And they have this wonderful, amazing knowledge about spices in Indian. They come from India, basically, these spices. We didn't have that before in Europe. In the medieval times, the spices came here, and cities got rich by these spices, very expensive. Now we have it everywhere, but they are one of the second healthiest food on the planet that we know. And scientific terms, spices and herbs, green vegetables, then spices and herbs, and then fruit. So that's the hierarchy of health in the food so far. So all these things come together. So it's very complex. So many people are confused about it, and you need some time to understand it. So I try to get a little bit here, give a little bit of guideline to how to understand this, how to approach this. So the fasting is always the time when I care for myself. One day a week I do this fasting. It's gentle. Everybody can do it. That means it's non-violent. You don't push yourself. If something is wrong, you feel bad, eat something, no problem. Or drink something with fiber, a smoothie or so, but not filtered. So I can always slow it down. The more fiber I reduce, the more pure my diet is. Especially I can also drink only water. It's very strong fasting. I don't need to do that all the time. The juices here I make in these videos here, they are what makes the fasting delightful in an easy way. Have a delicious juice. It's so much fun to drink, to enjoy the flavors, to explore, to find new flavors. I always make a new recipe on a fasting day. I'm looking forward to that. What can I do today? Today I make this beet juice. I mean, that is another story, to begin from the health story now to the flavor story. I mean, beet. I never gave a big thing about beet. Beets are roots full of sugar. Didn't know that, for example. But they have a very strong flavor. And now we know they are, even if you eat an hour before your workout, you eat beets, you have a better workout, better endurance. Beets have a lot of fantastic things inside that is very, very healthy. And that is the health, but also the flavor is amazing. If I juice a beet by itself, only by itself, for itself, just beet juice, it tastes terrible because it scratches in the throat. There's oxalates, a certain thing in the beet have a soluble salt, build this with the oxalates in many, many plants. Green plants have it a lot. Spinach is higher than any 1,000 times higher than other plants. Spinach, super high in oxalates, but beets also have high oxalate, and that's just what scratches in the throat. Drink a beet juice, only beet, and 20 minutes later it begins to scratch. That takes 2 hours to go away. Oh, it's so unpleasant. You don't want to have that. It doesn't hurt you, but it's unpleasant. So I don't know when to get rid of that, and the first beet juice I made was with pears. Put a pear into it, a little bit of lemon. Chef told me, boom, the scratching was away. The beet juice was delicious. Yeah, the pear beet juice, my first beet juice, that really was delicious. That was the first one. I have it on my online. But then I began to explore. You can combine all kinds of fruits and veggies with beets. And what the fantastic thing is, there's no other plant I came across so far that can create so many different flavors you would never imagine. That's all in the beet. The beet creates the most amazing flavors. It's really, there are flavors you don't even recognize the beet anymore. With mango beet juice, one of my most famous juices, I would say, for myself. Not for the other, I don't know what they think. But the mango beet juice, try to juice a mango with a beet, you will not taste the beet anymore. It's amazing what the mango does. Yeah, you check it out on my channel. Yeah. Mango beet juices, there are some. But the other way is when I juice an orange with the beet, that is so interesting. The beet flavor remains. You still taste the earthy beet flavor, as if you taste the beet itself. Only it doesn't scratch. It tastes good. So orange makes beet delicious, but still keeps it the beet flavor. So I would say orange is the neutral element in the beet juices. I will make certainly a book about beet juices. That's my plan, about beet in general. Later, I write another book right now about all my recipes. But beet would be one of the follow-ups because it is so amazing with the flavors and it's super healthy too. So the orange would be the neutral element in the beet flavor world, so to say. Neutral element, it doesn't change the flavor, that means. Yeah. And today, I found out, or the other day, that I can actually juice a whole lemon with the peel here. It's pretty much a similar amount as the beet here. 2 oranges and 2 beets. Pretty much the same. You see it's a little bit higher, the volume here, but it's pretty much the same as the beet, I would say. But you see the peel is on. You see, I never did that before. I thought, wow, somebody told me online they do that. they would use the peel, the whole orange with the peel and the beet and the ginger. That's the third part here. And I thought, wow, that cannot be true. I have to try it. It's a lot of ginger. You see, I had never used that much ginger in juice, by the way. But I come to that in a moment. But the orange juice with the peel is something you would not drink because it's so bitter. It is, wow, explodes. But the peel, the person online said, yeah, but the peel is the most healthiest thing of the orange. And she's right. I mean, I looked it up. Orange and citrus fruit in general have the most powerful nutrients in the peel. And recently I saw a video, I was shocked. I said, oh, there was a monkey in the video, on the movie, in a documentary, and the monkey ate an orange. And he was looking around, taking the orange apart, eating it, and he ate the peel as part of the orange normal. I said, oh, what kind of flavor, taste buds does he have, that guy? But he ate the orange peel completely as a normal part of the orange. I said, how could I do that? Oh, they have such a different flavor than I do, taste bud than I do. Could never imagine to do that. And then that person online told me he did the same with the orange and the beet juice. I said, I have to try that now. I don't believe it. I tried it the other day for myself. Just orange with the peel, beet, and a lot of ginger. I drank the juice. I said, "Bah, where's the peel here? The peel doesn't really appear. The peel goes, it goes away with the beet juice. It tastes fantastic." When I tried the same juice without the peel before, sometimes I make a quick juice to me for myself. Beet, orange, and ginger is a classic. It's a fantastic juice. You know, actually, the beet this juice can be very, very sweet. As I said, the beet has a very high sugar content, and that to me seems to be the secret for why the beet produces so many different flavors. Because the sugar content, the high sugar, is hidden in the earth element. It is in the earth, the beet. That means a very dense, heavy flavor. Tastes very strong, deep, heavy. So that you don't taste the sugar when you eat a beet. It doesn't taste sweet, really. The sweetness is hidden. It's my expression of it, hidden sugar. But when you put another fruit, a sweet sour fruit to the beet, all this opens up and the sugar comes out and creates, together with the earth, all these flavors you wouldn't even have dreamt of. Yeah, dreamt about. So, and so that strength of this power of the beet, that seems to take care of the peel, because the intensity of that peel, I cannot bear it usually. I tried it, of course, it was always too much, but not with the beet. Yeah. I guess the sweetness of the beet, that was sometimes even too much for me, this high sugar content, that gets balanced with this intense flavor of the oleic, of the oils. These are oils, etheric oils. They evaporate, oils that can evaporate. That is what makes the oranges and citrus fruit so healthy. Yeah. In the peel, this orange color, they have this this oil that can evaporate, very subtle oils, etheric oils, and they are to be used in minimal doses only. Some chefs do that and flavor the food with minimal amounts of etheric oils, and they are super healthy, but you can overuse them and you can make it a very bad experience if you take too much. Very powerful. And that is what is super healthy, super powerful in the orange. The orange flavor comes from that etheric oil, from the orange color. Inside the orange you have the juice and the flesh. Same with the lemon. The lemony flavor comes from the peel, from the color. From inside is the sour flavor. Yeah. So I always try to use some of the peel because I know it's super healthy, but you can't do it because it's too intense. And here in this case, I'm going to try now same amount of oranges with the peel, because it has to be an organic orange. Of course, I have to mention that because this peel here, the oranges oftentimes have a lot of pesticides. Yeah. They try to make the food resistant on the fields for the animals and the mold, and so insects, they will eat it and destroy it. Diseases come to the plants, so they put poison on the plants, and that poison usually is not unhealthy for us if you treat it in the correct way. There are lots of studies for decades going on in the medical world. They try to find out if that pesticide can be harmful for the people that eat it, and they could never find that the pesticides on the food, on the agriculture, are actually harmful for the people that eat it. No way, they couldn't do it. They tried everything. I recently watched a video by Dr. Greger, who oversees all the studies, and very, very helpful what they do with their team. And they couldn't find that the poison on the food actually harms us, as long as it is in the boundaries of what is allowed. Yeah, the farmers are allowed a certain amount to use these poisons, and as long as that they use this, not too much. Some farmers do use too much. They overdo it for many reasons. Yeah, but then it's not good. But if you have a farmer that is do only the allowed amount, you have to find out with your local food where you get it, the company or the health food shop where I get it or so. They know the farmers and know the companies, and so I trust them. I know that food is according to the laws. When you have that, it's not harmful for us. It's only harmful for the people who work on the field with the chemicals. For them, it's dangerous. That's true. They can't prove it. So if I can choose, have the money and the possibilities, I get my food, my organic food, of course, because the people are not so harmed on working on the fields when they have no pesticides on their hands and so, and their breath and so. So I do that when I can, but sometimes I can't, and I take whatever I can. That's not necessary because it's not for my health. Yeah, not for my health that I use organic. It's for the health of the people on the farms. That's what science shows that, and they really try to find harm for the people who eat it. Couldn't find it so far. So it seems to be harmless for us who eat it, but I think of the people who are working on the farms. For them, maybe it's better we move to more organic ways of food harvesting. But that is a minor aspect, I would say. Mostly important is, of course, that we are vegan. We don't harm the animals. That is the absolute most important thing, I would say. and the planet and the human health, of course, also it's also important. Yes, you have to make a discrimination, of course. Sometimes you have to make a choice, and then you take the least amount of damage, of course. Even in our private lives, we have to do that. So, long story to make it short, I make a beet juice today with oranges and the peel to get the full benefits. And now the ginger, the third part. Here, you see that I never used that much ginger. I would never have done that, because ginger, when you do that much, ginger is a super healthy spice, one of the most healthiest spices we have. What ginger does is it enhances the effect, the benefits of the other seeds, of the other nutrients, of the other plants. Ginger is a bomb, and it has a fire in there. It opens up the other spices, and it's of course warming. And it's hot, and it's very powerful. So, but it has a very strong flavor. It can be bitter and sharp, and it can destroy the whole flavor of a dish if you take too much. So I never take too much. But in this case, I tried a lot of ginger with the other recipes for myself, with the orange and the beet and the ginger. Tried a lot of ginger. I drank it. I said, I don't taste the ginger at all. What's happening? I was surprised, because that much ginger usually would be critical. So this time I try to use even more ginger. You see, that's a big amount. I don't know how to measure it. Maybe I would say it's 6 to 8 inches or so of ginger root. Usually I take 2 or 3 inches for that juice, that amount. This is a double. Let's see what works. Yeah, I will try. Yeah, so now I will juice it, come back in a moment and show you the juice and taste it. Now look at that here. That's a 3/4 of a liter, maybe 2/3. Usually I make a liter, but this is an exception. Sometimes I make smaller juices, 2 beets and 2 oranges, that's enough. I will try that now. I didn't taste it yet. I'm so excited. I see it here, beautiful color. Whenever you put beet into something, it's always the color, red, big. Colors are important for the food. Now the doctors say, eat the rainbow, because they want us to eat all the colors in food. So important. Another topic. So ready? The juice is creamy. It depends on the beet. When you have a very fresh, crunchy, hard beet, that is then runnier. The beet is a little bit older. It tastes a little bit different, heavier, and less water, of course. And then the flavor is a little bit different, and the texture of the juice is thicker a little bit. The beet I had was not that fresh anymore. I have to think about that, and maybe it's definitely better to have a fresher beet. But it doesn't matter. Sometimes you have a not so fresh beet, you can also do with that. So I have the texture here, the color, beautiful. Now, most importantly, the flavor. Let's see. Wow. Oh yeah. A serious flavor. Delicious. I can now taste the part of the peel of the orange. And it is an orange flavor. It's a little bit of taste the orange peel here, but not in an unpleasant way. It adds to the beet. That's what I really did not feel so far. When I juiced the beet and the orange without the orange peel, I taste only the beet. And the orange gives it a pleasantness. Makes it nice. You have a nice beet juice. The orange is only to make it longer, to give it more volume, so to say. I oftentimes add orange to recipes to make it longer, to give it more volume. In smoothies, for example, orange juice is an amazing ingredient for smoothies. But here, with the peel, I actually taste the orange flavor in the beet, and that is new to me. I didn't have that before. It's very interesting. And then, of course, there is the ginger. It's a lot, yes, but it's not too much. It makes it a little bit more serious than the bitter from the strong flavor from the intense flavor from the orange peel. These oils, these etheric oils, they, together with the ginger, make it serious, kind of. I don't know, but let me taste it one more time. So the first impression is always a little overwhelming. I get used to it, and taste it a second time, it tastes a little bit, you can say a little bit more. Let's see, one more time. Oh, it tastes wonderful. Oh, it's a different flavor experience. It's not too sweet at all. There is no sweetness too much here, as I had in the juice when I had orange without the peel, and the beet and the ginger. It was very sweet. I like that too, but at times you don't want to have that sweet. And now I understand that person that said it. It tastes nice, really. But it's different. It's really a serious flavor. It's really very characteristic for all these three plants: the ginger, the beet, and the orange. You taste it here. I recommend you try that. I don't know how it works with other ingredients. When I add another ingredient, I don't know yet. I will find out later. But for now, look at this juice. You can see the texture when it flows into the glass. You see, it's beautiful, right? It's a creamy, thick, creamy juice. Nice texture, very nourishing, and most of the fiber is out because of the juicer. It removes the fiber, so it goes into the body and directly into the bloodstream. There's no digestion needed. Digestion rests, and this rest is so critical for a fasting day. You have a deep rest, because 70% of the immune system, that's what the body fights all the time against the enemies outside and inside. The immune system, that system takes 70% of the energy from the food. Sorry, 60%. 70% of the immune system is in the intestines, so that's the right number. 70% of the immune system is in the intestines. That's what I read. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please find out and tell me. I think 70% a lot. The most of the immune system is in the intestines. And 60% of the food, of the energy of the food that I take in, is used for that digestion. So the most energy goes into digestion and immune system. It's so important for the body. On a fasting day, when the digestion rests, all this energy is not needed. All the energy you take in goes directly to the body and the system, and be creative to cleanse itself. Of the mind also, I think about myself or things I forgot still on my mind, somewhere hidden, it comes up, and I can take out the garbage, so to say. Things I don't need in my mind, thoughts and emotions I don't need anymore from the past. I can let it go. Fasting is a wonderful day to make this, to self-reflect. That's one of the most important yogic disciplines, self-reflections. Without self-reflection, there's no yoga, that's for sure. We have classical scriptures, and they're ancient, the ancient scriptures, and I was raised in the West, of course. I never heard anything about yoga when I was little, in school or so. Yoga was a very strange thing to me. It was interesting somehow, all the big yogis in the Himalayan, and so I thought about that. I will never meet one, I will never be there. I was so little in my little town in Germany. So that was another thing for me. Then I began, much later, I began yoga because of health reasons, and I learned more about it and read something, and then all these stories. And now I understand now, traveling to India, having a great teacher who knows all about yoga. They have so much knowledge, the Indian culture. It's an ancient culture, much older than the Western culture, and there are many things we can learn. And many of our inventions in the West, the water system, how we make the water come to the fields and make everything grow, how they use the moon and the sun to make everything grow, and astrology, how you watch astronomy, how you watch at the stars, and how to use that for seafarers and for all kinds of things, for the time, for the calendar. All these things and many more come from India. The numbers, the numbers come from India, and the zero comes from India. And so many things, the language, the structure, the grammar, all Indian. I mean, who would have thought that? They're far ahead of us at the ancient times. Now Western culture took over for some reasons. Of course, we've also found things in the Western culture the Indians haven't thought about. Bureaucracy, for example. But it can be very interesting to think about that in philosophical terms, in terms of theory. Indians never got that down. They are basically practical. Never thought about that. And that is a thing that is purely Western. But okay, there's something in the West also makes it very fascinating. What the Western culture has. Of course, now we're doing a lot of destruction, also destroy the planet and so all the animals. Indians never did that. But it's modern, yeah, it's modern time. But the Indian culture is so rich in the history, what we can learn from them, especially when it comes to mental powers and what yoga says also. It's a freedom of the mind, you know. Yoga is a liberation of the mind, a consciousness, expanding consciousness, finding yourself. That is an Indian concept. That's actually fascinating. It's very crucial, and that's what we need to learn now most in the West, I would say, to evolve. We need that to bridge the West and East is such a thing, and well, I learn a lot about that, and the yoga is important to me because of that, and yeah, I feel better, and so I learn a lot, and also medicine is also something interesting I mentioned before, Ayurveda, and so I'm learning right now a little bit. Yeah, all that is, and also the yoga style here and the fasting, that gentle juice fasting comes from a yogi, Western yogi, Kaliji, Yogini Kaliji, that comes from California, and that's where the school is, and it's now all over the world. And she has brought the TriYoga moon fasting to me. I have made a website, TriYoga moon fasting, on Facebook page, and you can go there and find something about the fasting, the moon fasting, the gentle juice fasting. It's a non-violent lifestyle part of the non-violent lifestyle, and you need to have a lifestyle change if you want to lose weight. Yeah, you can't just fast for a day, lose the weight, and then when you continue with the old diet, you will gain even more weight. Science said that there's no doubt about that. The only way to change your diet, to change your weight, basically, as a recommendation for all, there are always exceptions, of course. Never mind that. But the basic message is you have to change your diet forever. Yeah, that's what I do. I use my fasting days to make changes to my diet that I can keep forever. So I eat a little bit less on a regular day. Tomorrow when I begin eating it again, what I do is I eat a little bit less. I skip maybe one meal or make it a very small meal at night. Yeah. That was always the problem for me, the personal thing here. I usually don't share so much the personal things. I try to keep it more general. But the personal thing is, for me personally, what I do, when I start eating again, they call it breaking the fast. On tomorrow, when I eat again, I usually eat more than I want to. I have a desire to eat more because the body, of course, reacts that he wants to make up for it. I have less calories today. Tomorrow the body says, give me more calories because I lacked some yesterday. That has always been like that in the culture of the human civilization. Yeah? I always ate. One day they didn't eat. The other day they had more food. That was normal. So they do that always. So tomorrow I have more hunger. I'm more hungry than I need to. So I have to discipline a little bit. So maybe one meal at night. I take a very small meal to make up for that desire that is not justified. I want to change my diet, reduce a little bit of weight, change my diet a little bit, just a little bit, you know. But this way of fasting, gentle juice fasting, every week, only one day, tomorrow I eat again. It's very gentle and it allows me to make adjustments, very small adjustments. They can't, even if I overeat tomorrow a little bit, it doesn't really matter. I ruin my fasting, of course, but it doesn't really matter. It's only a small fasting. But on the long run, yeah, I can week after week, I can learn a little bit more. Yes, I eat a little bit less of this, and I know this desire comes now, so stop a little bit. So I learned that on the long run to adjust. That is so much easier than making a big mistake and to ruin all what I did after 4 days or a week of fasting with water that I did earlier, many years ago. And when you make that a mistake, that brings you really down again. So this way of fasting is so much more effective to me. I tried everything in fasting, everything almost, yeah. But now I have this gentle juice fasting due to Yogini Kaliji, with a gentle way of life, the flow. She introduced the flow into yoga world. absolutely evolution. Now everywhere in the world they flow, talk about the flow in yoga. That's from her, 1980. You look it up, it's fascinating. I didn't know that too. See, she invented the flow in yoga. It wasn't there before, absolutely not, no chance to find it. And it's now it's everywhere, and nobody knows her. I mean, she's famous in the yoga world, but regular people don't talk about that. But the flow, everyone knows the flow. It's fascinating, but yeah, so I'm grateful that she brought this gentle kind of fasting here to me, and I can share it now. We do it also in the TriYoga online universe. We always do fasting on the full and on the new moon together, and I do it every week, the Gentle Juicefasting, and yeah, you can join also if you like. So, but today, that juice is for you now to try. You tell me how you feel about it. They're fascinating. Peel of the orange, can use it in a nice way. Looking forward to do it in other recipes. Let's see. Beet is very special. We can make a beet juice with more ingredients. Let's see. This is a start only. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, subscribe. MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. And find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.